Yeah.
Then he touches shit. Yeah, like, fam, when you start touching shit, it makes us feel like we're not ready.
Yeah.
No, I'm always going to be adjusting no matter what.
Yeah, but until we get, don't touch anything for the first minute of us starting.
Yes.
Because
I'm looking at you. I'm looking for you to guidance.
Pause for us.
Yeah, I'm looking at you for guidance. So if I see you do something, I'm like, oh, I must be like fucking up.
Yo,
Let me
all
wait.
these Generation X niggas got ADHD.
Yeah.
I am not X.
Z? Pick a letter, nigga. It's not millennial.
He said pick a letter.
Definitely not X.
Niggas generation.
X is the one under you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know how the shit go. It went millennial.
you see.
I'm saying, but I'm just informing you. I'm just
Listen,
saying,
it went millennial, and then the rest of you niggas.
So you Z?
Yeah.
Because I'm a cusp. I'm actually, what is the generation
The
before?
one with Candace? That's nothing to be proud of.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that one. I'm that one.
Yeah.
Like, depending on which thing you look at, millennial or that. Like, some of them have it starting at 85, some of them have it starting at, like, 82, and I'm 84. So it's like, I'm like a cusp. I'll be on the cusp of that shit.
Cusp of that.
I'm a Gemini Cancer cusp.
That's a scary cusp right there.
I'm on the cusp of being a
Okay,
nice
are we
person.
good? All right. Good. Yeah. Welcome to Coffee and Cannabis. I'm your host, Alyza, and this is...
About to be on vacation, Corey. What's up?
I'm sorry. You threw me off. You threw me off. All right, but fuck it. We gonna roll. I do want to say, though, can you show them your lighter?
My lighter? Yes.
I was going to say, if you show them your lighter, you have to say it when you show them. Yeah. Oh, my God. All right, listen, it's just us. It's the dynamic duo back at it again.
In an undisclosed location.
You know, anytime you see, like, something happen, probably something happened. So
we're not here. We're here for a reason.
We're here for a reason. But it's all good. We got a nice set today. It's lots of plants around. It's a nice moody aesthetic. And it's still Women's Month, even though we probably won't drop this in Women's Month. But it is still, this film date is Women's Month. So,
all about the ladies.
You know, we got all the ladies. And he's got his lady who decided to look more like a lady today. How you like my hair?
I think it's very nice.
Do you?
I like the curly hair.
Okay.
Right. I'm with it.
It's like, it's hot. It's a lot. It's always in my face. It's in my way, you know. But your head does need to breathe every once in a while. So with the braids and the hats and stuff.
I'm the exact opposite. I haven't had a haircut in like 2 weeks because I'm about to go on vacation and I want a fresh cut to go on vacay. So
where are you going? Somewhere fancy?
No, I'm going to St. Martin and St. Bart's.
Ooh, Corey got money.
I don't have anything.
All right, listen. You guys know how we do. Coffee. We have some Haitian coffee today. You know how we always try to make sure that we're supporting minority brand or, you know, some type of underserved group. So we got some delicious Haitian coffee today. And then, Corey, what are we smoking?
We are smoking Tahoe Cream. Kind of a sweeter, mellow.
This is a delicious taste. The pull that I'm taking, I actually feel like I taste the cream. Mm-hmm. What kind of Dutch did you roll this in? That's
a honey fusion Dutch.
Yeah, it blends together.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely pause. I'm so terrible. I never know when to say, I
don't think you have to.
I'm so gay that the pause, like, I just never say it. I'm like, because I'm like, why I have to say pause? Like, if you really think that I'm fucking with any kind of cream.
Like, I'm really on that gay shit.
I'm not fucking with any kind of cream other than the shit that's inside of this. Anyways.
You too much. Too much.
All right. So, listen, I love when it's just us because we can just talking bullshit and it be about us and what we got going on. And we've actually had a lot going on. We've been working really hard. We've been having a lot of stuff happen with the dispensary. Obviously, a lot of stuff that's happening with our productions. And then we've been doing a lot of stuff, right? We've been doing some events and going out, doing some community events. Yep. And I know that you just had a speaking engagement, and one thing that you were talking about a lot there was like software. That was like a big conversation. And I think that that's really important because I'm currently going through a software switch with my other business, Sweat. And being a new entrepreneur, I never realized the value and importance of quality software. There's so many things that your software can do for you and your business. And from a compliance perspective, inventory management, just so many things. So I had this company that we've been using for maybe like 4 or 5 years now, and I'm just not a fan of how it operates, right? But it had to be a lot of trial and error for me to learn what it was. It's not something that I was well versed in. And now that I know what to look for. I know what I need. I know what my business needs. So I'm doing a swap. And when this was our conversation during our building of Tossed, that was like a really important one, right? Making sure that not only because of the state's regulatory compliance, but all the other stuff. So can you just share about like, what I wasn't at the event, so about the event and like,
Yeah, so event was cool. Shout out to Work and Roll in the city in Manhattan, and the organization for having me. I think the main thing with software is you've got to really narrow down what you plan to use it for. And some of that is not always obvious. So, when we talk about POS software, because it's cashier to retail space,
right.
People think it's just for doing POS things, the point of sale, making sales, pulling it, all that kind of stuff. But really, POS is acting as your inventory management software, as you found out with Sweat.
Right.
So it's not just that it's easy to push the buttons for your cashiers, bartenders, to pick stuff, build carts, and kick it out. It's also, it has to be really good at pulling inventory in time. And then cannabis specific, it's got to correlate with the compliance softwares, the track and trace systems that your state or market are using. So like in New York, it's BioTrack. In Jersey, it's Metric. So you need a POS software that's also going to talk back and forth with Metric or BioTrack. And that's to, and all that leads to compliance.
Right.
Right. So if you're starting up, you don't have the money to hire anybody for compliance. You don't have the money to hire an inventory manager just for like a one-off retail. So you need that POS system to kind of do all three. You need it to be your POS system, your inventory management system, and your compliance system, right? And that means it needs to also talk with whatever the compliance software is that your state is requiring. So in our case, Metric.
Right.
So, our POS system that we went with, it's got to talk back and forth with Metric to make sure all our compliance inventory is correct. It's got to maintain the inventory for our actual store that we're using on the day-to-day. And then it's got to be a usable POS system for the bud tenders. And then last but not least, and this kind of came up in that event I was at, was like reporting, right? So like,
critical.
Yeah, like I'm not going to all of a sudden become the POS system private eye trying to track down every little transaction we made, or, I'm up here doing other stuff on Excel spreadsheets and stuff. I need a system that does all that work and kicks something back to me.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it.
Fast.
You want something that's automatically going to kick something back. It's going to generate a certain set of reports for you and kick it back, whether on a daily, weekly, monthly. Ours that we picked is dope because it can kick back, let's say, inventory reports and the compliance report on a daily.
Yeah.
So as a COO, and as a person managing the store, your manager, or whoever, and whoever's locking up also, you want to get that report every day.
Yep.
Now, CEO or people doing more administrative kind of jobs, they might only need a weekly report from a sales standpoint, right? I need to see the sales, what our current assets are worth.
What are we hitting?
Yeah, and on a sales standpoint, velocity of products, right? Very different. And then, we have a lawyer, we have a CPA. We might need a report that goes to all of them end of every quarter, right? So for quarterly reporting, of just, hey, here we are. This is what we're looking at. This is how the stuff is moving.
Yep.
And we have investors. Shout out to our investors.
For like dividends.
Yeah. So like investors. Yep. You owe it to your investors to provide them with some level of reporting, whether that's every 6 months. In our case, I think we're going to do quarterly. But, hey, here's all the investors. Here's the emails. Yep. Set in the system. You send this one quarterly report every, end of every quarter.
And a lot of them are automated.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
You can set it that it's like every quarter
does it
just
on its own.
Send it. Yep.
Yeah, so, and I think that was a big part of the POS system we picked was it has a lot of reports they've already built into the system, so it's not us having to go back and forth teaching them what we want. we can just kind of pick, hey, this is the report I want, and here's how often, and here are the names of the people it needs to go to.
Yeah.
And that frequency and ease of reporting is important, you know. Like, I'm about to go on vacation. If our store was open and doing sales and I'm on vacation, I want to still see that daily report to know what's happening while I'm not there, because I can't deal with the situation in the moment, right? And same thing, you got a vacation going on. You want to get that weekly, or maybe in that case even daily, of just like, what is happening while I'm not there, so you're not losing your mind stressing when you're supposed to be on vacation.
I mean, you know, I got the apps for everything on my phone, so I check it regardless. But one of the things that was really important to me for these systems is, you know, like the the branding and marketing thing is like my jam, and the marketing suites that are built into these systems is really important, because with that same inventory, not the inventory, just the reports in general, right? So you have the reports that it's capturing all the data of the client base that comes in. So if you have some type of a system where when they check out, it gathers some of their info, or you have like a reward system, and then they voluntarily put in their name and email and address and all these things. Now you have a capability to send them mailers. You have a capability to send them emails. If you grab their birthday, you can schedule certain emails that automatically generate when it's their birthday, send them a coupon code. What else is usually in those marketing suites? I mean, some of them are
actually just marketing stuff that's geared around their sales. So you need something that's gathering the data, also tracking what their normal buy is, and then sending tailored marketing to them based on what they actually buy on the regular.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to send somebody that only buys flour a weekly email about vape cards. Like, that's true. That's not what they buy, and they're going to be annoyed by that very quickly.
That's true, and there's a part of those systems that's called the journey. You follow the journey of the client, and it's because it captures all that information, right? And all these systems, these technological systems know how to basically figure people out, and they know, like, they always buy flour. All right, when we send these emails, we're going to make sure that we sell them the sales that we're having that are related to flour, or, you know, new items that are coming in. So the other thing is that you can also, it's also for like employees clocking in and out.
Yeah, facts.
That's another thing.
Have them clock in and out. So it also is tracking your labor.
Yeah.
Because most places have a whole nother system for that. You know, the clock in, clock out, the hours reporting the labor.
Yep.
The other cool one, just real quick, getting back to sales, is certain POS systems, because each employee is clocking into the POS system, into the terminal that they're using. Right. You can, you're also tracking how much sales and velocity of sales, median sale, each employee's having.
For that independent
So,
employee.
like, now you know who's your dead weight and who's not.
Yep.
Who's, you know, just out there having a good time on the sales floor, but not selling no product. And I think that's important, especially when you have specials. Like, let's say you got old product, let's say 1 gram pre-roll. It's like, hey team, we got to get rid of these 1 gram pre-rolls. They're getting not physically stale, but stale from a sales standpoint. Right. And you tell your team, hey, start upselling these 1 gram pre-rolls. We'll put them 50%, whatever it is. But you got to start getting these into the bag. And then you can go check and see if anyone's actually doing it, right? And who's actually pushing for the upsell or who's not. Right. And I think that's important. You know, you deal with upselling every day, whether you realize it or not. You know, it's like when you go to the fast food spot and they're like, you know, do you want this with that? That's an upsell, right? Or like when you go to a retail environment and they're like, hey, we also have this on sale over here. Or did you check out the sale on this? That's, you know, very casual upselling, but it's not affecting the customer. You're not being annoying with it. It's not like just pushing. Yeah. And you definitely need to do that in cannabis retail too. Yep. That sales number per bag is important, you know, for understanding what's really moving in your facility, in your store.
Yeah, I think you know, people got to really get tuned into the real minor details of their business. You know, everybody is just, I think, focused on big picture, like, oh, we're gonna sell weed, but there's more to it, and there's more mechanisms to a business in general. So I just want people to, like you said, understand the smaller, they're not really small, because if you think about it, it's big in the long run. Like, upselling and, you know, making sure that you're tracking sales, making sure that you're tracking time, making sure that you're tracking inventory, tracking emails. Like, email databases is a whole game in itself. Like, you can go on there's like certain websites that are dedicated to people buying emails for email blasting. And that's a whole other marketing aspect that's in some of this software. So,
well, a part of that is who owns your data. So all POS systems aren't created equal. Some of those POS systems in the contract, they're like, you know, in the contract is saying that they own your data. So, you know, they're all going to see your data, but you want to know that you own your data, right? And data costs money. Data is sellable. That's what Facebook and a lot of these apps really are. People think they're for social engagement, which people use them for that. Yeah. But to the company, the worth is the data.
Yep, that is
like I get all your personal data because you probably actually your address, your name, your phone number. So and that's a lot of tracking, right? I know where you live, and all that different stuff. And then I can track your buying habits.
Yes, that's what it is.
And so people that don't understand it, the easiest way I can explain it is everybody gets the pop-ups, the ads now on IG. I remember when IG didn't have no ads. Yep. But what happened is they gave you a social media app. It's an app. Everyone got it. It's free. It don't cost you nothing. They run it for 10 years. They collect a whole shitload of data. Hundreds of millions of people use it. And they know your personal interest because they see what you're looking at. Yep. They see how long you look at it. They see what you actually like, what you go back to, who you follow. Yep. And they use that decade of information on your interests to now start selling you product through ads. Yep. And like, you know, the ads be on point.
Corey, they get me all the time.
The ads be on point.
I'm telling you, in the last week, I bought at least 3 things off Instagram.
Yo, you're a mark. So I think that's a big part of it is people be like, yo, how did it know I needed that? It's listening to me, you know, and just trust, believe Siri. What's that other chick with the A?
Alexa,
yep. All of them is listening?
Yep, they are.
But the apps are using algorithms based on your data, based on your socioeconomic, based on your location, right? So, you know, a phone has a GPS, so they know where you at. You clicking, liking, going back to following shit, so it knows what your interests are. It's crazy, right? You probably put your address in there somewhere, or it's always tracking your location, so it knows where you be at. And then it starts guessing.
Why are you breaking it down like this?
Then it starts guessing
it's
what
so painful to hear it out loud.
Well, it's the truth. But hey, listen, I look at that thing as our young and intelligent producer Jalen put me onto it, the ChatGPT and all this stuff. I don't know nothing about that, none of that shit. But
he uses all that stuff to be very efficient.
But like, it's the same thing. It's like it needs to learn you.
Yeah.
And then it's really an asset because the stuff that my algorithms be pulling up be shit I need. Like, for real.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, how did it know I needed that?
I kind of feel like 2 ways about it. Like, I like it to a certain extent because it does always, like, I like to shop, but sometimes I don't really have, like, leisure time to do, like, just sit there and just scroll for hours to find stuff. So for it to find me is incredible. Yeah. But then also, it's crazy to know that it's capturing all this stuff, right? Well, but then on the other side, I'm like, I was also in the military for a long time, and you were raised by military parents and lived in Europe and all that. So they got all our shit anyway, right? Yeah. Anybody else who isn't in these cases, maybe they have more to be concerned about. But I promise you, the military probably has more shit about me than any algorithm ever could.
But actually, look at that, though. Predictability, and there's a whole college degrees on this. It was part of my engineering degree, which is like probability, right? Probability. Yep. You know, what are the chances something's going to happen? What's the potential outcome for that? It's just doing it, but it's doing it from a sales standpoint, right? But if you can have a algorithm that predicts someone's wants, needs, and what they're willing to spend money on, as good as like IG and these shits are, imagine the other things it can predict. I know. I go full conspiracy. Go full conspiracy. I'm just saying, you know, there's all the background algorithmic, was just math, right? Stuff that goes into it, predict all types of crazy shit. Yeah. And to think if you got a POS system or software that you're using, that could do the same for your business, for your cannabis business, or any business for that matter. That's true. That's worth a lot of money. Yep. So that's why the software and the POS that we've picked, that we plan to use, is really based on those abilities. It's not how pretty it is.
Yep.
It's not how much marketing it has. It's not how much other shit the company can offer us. It's, can you do POS, inventory compliance, provide me with reports, and provide me with my customer data and feedback and graphs and probability of future sales.
Yep.
I think those are the most important things if you're going to spend the money on that.
And there's a lot of people out here that are just getting sold off of, you know, people going out in the community and just being present, right? Like sometimes some people just buy the first thing they see.
Facts.
Instead of doing some real digging. And, you know, I'm not trying to criticize any company. I mean, I want them all to succeed, but I want the dispensary owners to really succeed. So the only way for them to do that is to really understand what product is going to work best for them and to not just go with the next guy because, you know, somebody else did.
Yeah, well, the other part, you know it's worth a lot of money because we got whole POS system companies paying off states to be the premier POS system in that state.
Yes.
I ain't going to name nobody. But certain states, the state is pushing you to use that software for your POS system.
That's like such a monopoly.
Yeah, but like obviously it's worth a lot of money because why would you spend the money like the people that get it, they get it? No, I'm trying to force you to have it because it's also that data. So that's why who owns your data is important.
Yep.
Because if one system is being used by the majority of a subgroup, or like in this case cannabis sales, they got a lot of data and they got a lot of sales patterns and tracking and stuff. And then the question becomes, are they going to share it with you? Yeah. Do you have access to that data? Are they just collecting it and you on the outside, or do you get that admin button and I need to be able to see what's happening in my region, my market, my city, the state, whatever it is. The
other thing that I was thinking about is the user experience. Yeah. That's really important too. So the other side of the software. Yeah. Because the software that I currently have that I'm trying to get away from has a terrible user experience. Like my clients would complain about how complicated the app was, how hard it was to book things or buy gift cards. If you have, when we talk about the customer journey, people have to understand that the way that consumers respond when they're having the idea to purchase something, they might say quickly, oh, I think I'm going to go do this thing today. And then they try to go do it. If you give them too many steps or they have too difficult of a process to try to complete the transaction, and then they go somewhere else, they get a phone call, they go on Facebook, they go do something else, they left that, and now their entire plan has changed because they gave too much energy to that one thing. People don't understand like how quickly people will change what they do, which is why when we talk about that algorithm and buying things on the computer, it'll pop up on one place on Instagram and then you'll leave it and you'll go do something else and then you'll go on Facebook 3 hours later and then you'll see that same thing that you looked at.
Well, that's why you have the tech or data companies that are buying. It's a reason why Facebook also owns now Instagram, right? Right. Yep. Why did they need Instagram? Because they needed more data, right? They started crossing each other's, with social media. It's like we need to link all this so we can put all the data together and put the users together too. Yep. The other thing, like you talked about, people start doing something, they open a cart, they start doing it, they walk away, they'll forget it. Shit, they got these apps now that send you the email after the fact.
Hey, you got cart, something waiting.
Hey, I got the one, I be getting the one that's like, hey, I think you forgot. It's like, fam, damn. Like, maybe I changed my mind. It was mad pushy. These emails is pushy.
But sometimes you finally do conclude
I'm like, yo, I did forget. Yeah. I went back to that shit. I bought that shit. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, went right back to that cart. Like, oh, thank you for saving the cart.
You know what? And sometimes I appreciate the cart save because if you go on like a store that's like an ASOS or like a Top Man, one of those that you got to really scroll for hours to find something, and then you don't find it again, you're like, oh, I don't even know what this shirt was called, and then they bring it right back to you. Like, remember that funky Hawaiian shirt that was on page 7 that you scrolled
we
for?
Still got it. We still got it. It's right here. We saw you look at it. The other part of that is, here's full conspiracy mode. Oh God! The airplane, flight websites do that too.
What do you mean?
For example, you look up a flight. Everybody do this. You look up a flight. First, you go on Expedia, then you go on Southwest.com, and then you go back to Expedia, and you go search and check, and you found the one you think you got, And then you go to the United Airlines Delta site and pull it up. If you don't buy that shit right then in that session, close the session and go back, the price will go up.
Are you serious?
Because the software is track your IP address. So if your same IP goes right back to something you've already searched, they're going to bring the price because now they know you really want it. It's not a guess anymore. We know you wanted it. You second guessed the price. You went and did something else. And now that you came back, babe, the price went up $10.
Yes.
That shit was an hour ago. Not that much happened in the past hour. That shit is just pushing your thing. Like if I have to go back to one, I go to my other computer. If I'm like looking up I'll look up a bunch of stuff on my computer and all that.
On different computers.
But then when it's time to purchase, I go on her computer. Different IP address.
Wow.
Because if I do it, it's going to ping back up with a higher price.
You know, and the crazy thing about flights is that it's different than shopping for clothes. Most of the time, somebody who's going on an Expedia or to get some type of travel needs to go somewhere. Like
it's not a question.
It's not a question, right? Like sometimes there's some people just shopping around, but for the most part, somebody's either planning something or they really do need to go somewhere. Yeah. So once you said like how you said that now they know.
Yeah.
It's really easy because they also know that you need this. You know, you might not need that funky Hawaiian shirt, but you definitely need this flight.
Yeah, and obviously, and with airlines, it's only so many options, right?
That's it.
We know what day and time roughly you want to go.
Yep.
And we know the two places you're trying to intersect. Yep. So it's probably only about 4 or 5 flights really out there, period, that even going to match that.
Yep, that's
true. So we can afford to push you another $10, $15, and you still going to buy the shit. And that's just what it is.
People don't realize that it's important to understand consumer behaviors. Yeah. Because that's what's going to help you continue to push sales and to really build a strong client base. Because the other thing is that once these people do buy something from you and they actually have a great experience or they enjoy it, when you continue to stay in front of their face, they're going to purchase from you anyway. You're going to kind of become their go-to spot.
Yeah. I think it's just be the old fogey on this one, just like, technology. It's going so fast. But they have all your data. Watch out. But the reality
I know we sound like old people, right?
Yeah,
but that's why we keep Jalen around. Like he
keep
really,
us young.
Yeah, no, I know. Now we really sound old. No, but he's really great with supporting technological integration. It's important for us to start to do that in business.
Some of the shit he be asking us to do, I'd be like, fam, I don't got it. I ain't got it.
You had to see how he told me to save the file that was too big on Discord to then put it on my drive, go to my file,
I quit
save
already.
it to...
I quit already. I'm done. He lost me that quick. Yeah.
He had to call me. He called me and he was like, he called me on FaceTime. And then he goes, share your screen. And I was like,
you can share your phone on the phone?
Fam!
That's it.
I did not know that.
Yo, that's some wild shit.
He said, share your screen.
Jalen, you can share the screen on the iPhone while you're in a...
Yes.
Motherfucker. Didn't know that.
Were some of you today years old when you learned that?
Yeah, I'm today years old. Old as shit.
Yep,
learning.
Because I didn't know that, and I didn't tell him I didn't know it. I just was like, what did he say? So I just was like, all right, and I looked at my phone, and I was like, I ain't never seen this button before.
Press enough buttons, see it work.
And then I saw it, and I saw him seeing my screen, and I was like, whoa.
Fuck that.
But it was great, because I'd
have hit that shit by accident. I'm showing shit I ain't supposed to show.
Yes. Oh, my God, I never thought about that. That's good to know.
You lied to your friend, you like, nah, shit is crazy. I can't come out tonight. Your hobby and shit. He's like, fam, I can see you. I can see your screen. I see you texting somebody else about, we out.
Damn. No, it was helpful though, because then he walked me through how to do it on the phone. But yeah, no, it's really really important. People don't get that. I like being on a couch. This is like.
I feel like I'd be falling back in the couch.
Do you?
So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. When we watch this, we might be like, oh, look at how scrunched up we look. We probably do.
I feel scrunched all the time. I'd be lounge.
I do feel like comfortable on here. It's nice. Our chairs are very like.
Me and the ladies.
Yeah. Shout out Beauty of Nin. Beautiful jewelry. Yo, that's my mother-in-law's business. Let me tell you something. She's got like a cult-like following.
Yeah.
It is. To sell her, let me explain this model to you guys. It's the craziest thing. To sell her products, she only sells them on Facebook. and she has a period where she like goes into a mode and she creates, right? And it really is like she says that she feels her mom like move through her spirit and her fingers and like make beautiful items. And honestly, when I've seen her, when I've watched her do it, you really could tell she's like in a whole vibe. She goes in her like workshop, plays some like Jill Scott, and like it's really like great energy. And then she makes a certain amount. She's like, I got 80 pieces. And then she takes pictures of all the pieces. She puts them all on Facebook, and she sets a time that the sale is going to happen, and everything is a 1 of 1.
So it's just someone buys it, it's gone.
Someone buys it, it's gone, but they have to post on the Facebook post like me or I or want or something that is identifying that they're going to buy it. But this is the thing. When she sets the time, it goes crazy. Everything sells in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, your mom's...
Is that not such a crazy business model?
Your mom is David Yurman. Yeah, she getting it.
It is the most incredible thing I've ever seen because everything is always gone almost instantly. And then, you know, because Facebook shows the time all the way down to the seconds, but only on a computer. Yeah. So then she has to go on a computer because sometimes in your Facebook, it'll show like popular people first. So you'll think that somebody said me at the top when really they didn't. It's just showing them because they tap your stuff all the time. Yeah. So she has to look on a computer to see the time frame to be able to say like, okay, you won. And then under it, she comments like, you won. Yeah. And then I'm telling you, it's the most brilliant thing. Her jewelry is absolutely beautiful, so I can understand why people are like, I mean, it's really like Hunger Games out there. But I just love unique models like that. I just love people who are creative and they can find like different ways to sell things, to understand their market, to understand their consumer, and to maximize on that.
Well, talking about your mother-in-law and Jill Scott, didn't y'all go see Jill Scott?
Yes, we did. It was outstanding.
It was good. I'm pissed. I'm so hot. I'm so hot.
There was so many people who went too. Like the next day, like my cousin-in-laws were there and a really good family friend. There was mad people there. It was such a vibe. Like
I didn't realize it was that day. I thought it was like in a month or something because I heard about it somewhere else and it was like, oh yeah, the Jill Scott concert. And I even talked to my wife about it, like, yo, let's get tickets. She like, oh yeah, look at that. And then you were like, yeah, I'm going to Jill Scott concert tonight. And I was like, oh fuck.
It was so nice. It was jumping in there. It was jumping in there. It was so funny. We were in line, and I heard this girl behind me. She was like, I ain't never seen so many bougie black people in my life.
Listen, you got to get sexy when you go to see Jill Scott. You just can't be going up there. This is Jill Scott.
Yep. Got to put some respect on her name.
Listen, everybody horny after that one.
Everybody. You want to know something? She said that, too. She was like, I like to think that when people leave my concert, they go and get a little something when they go home.
Big facts.
I love how Jill Scott has been like, I don't know, sort of like sexualized. Mm-hmm. I know people, I don't know.
As a quote unquote bigger woman.
Yes, yeah. But she is beautiful.
She personifies sex.
Yes, and I love that other people have embraced that.
Well, look at the spectrum. You have like Rihanna is sex, like she just is.
Yep.
But so is Jill Scott.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yes. That's dope. Definitely, yeah, and just the whole like. Her set actually had, she had like some dancing, some spoken word, like just the whole vibe of it was like a concert, and she did her whole entire album from beginning to end.
That's dope. It was a 20-year anniversary.
Yes.
That's what it was.
It was, yeah. Shout out Jill Scott. I love you.
Shout out Miss Scott.
You're so beautiful.
My cousin met her once.
Yes?
It was weird. So my cousin was in like, I forget what, a department store, but a regular store. Was doing a changing room and all that, and it said a woman kept running back and forth with like mad clothes. Just go there, hand the person clothes, come back out, and then my cousin, she be asking, she like fuck it. So she was like, hey, you know, what's going on? Like, is someone in there? And she goes, oh, I'm just getting clothes, having my daughter's trying on clothes. You might have heard of her, Jill Scott. And sure enough, later, you know, Jill Scott come walking out, and it's just like, and she said she was like the nicest, most personable person in the world.
I believe it
too. But it was like Jill Scott out still shopping with her mama, like, yo, go grab that one, get the green one, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's kind of dope. Like, she's a regular person.
Yeah.
That just personifies sex somehow.
Yes.
But yeah, it's wonderful.
I love
that's dope.
Corey, I'm going to miss you.
For a week.
I know, but I talk to you almost every day.
We're going to talk at least once, we know. on that trip. So
yeah, that one
got the
time.
planning board meeting coming up. Yeah.
It's endless.
So hopefully by the time you see this, we'll have already got approval, or it's a problem.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, big facts. So.
I'm so tired of going to it. I really hope this is the last one because this is getting exhausting.
It's getting expensive.
And it's getting expensive.
That's a big fact. So.
Yeah.
You
So
ready to wrap this one? Did you figure out an ending yet?
no, we didn't do You Don't Know Jack.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, you
My
completely
bad.
forgot.
We were just talking and flowing. I didn't know.
I'm sorry.
You good? So ask me a question.
Wait, Jalen, help. Send help. Do.
Tell them what to do when. Like, comment.
What? Oh, like,
Oh,
comment,
yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah. Like, hit the bell thing, subscribe, watch it 3 times, get the numbers up, share it with a friend.
Yes.
Alright, folks, we got different types of concentrates. How to pick.
Oh, yes.
flower,
That was a question.
traveling with weed,
Okay.
how to copy other countries,
Okay.
Well, all right.
dying, spraying the head.
All right,
Okay.
Jalen.
Oh,
Jesus.
all right, Jalen.
You done gave the next 10 episodes.
Yeah, those were the. If you're paying attention, those are the next 10 episodes.
Okay. What? I want to.
I'll blur it all out.
Look at.
Yeah, see, technology. That technology.
Fuck it. I don't care. All right. Concentrates.
Yeah.
All right. So that was one of the questions. How do you pick them? Do you even do them?
So
Is that your thing?
So honestly, this past weekend I did a dab for the first time.
Ever?
I think I did it one other time, but I was too drunk to remember. Just saying.
Okay,
But
so this was
my
solely...
first aware
Okay.
first dab.
All right. Tell me about it.
Hit it with a dab pipe. The strain was Motorhead,
Okay.
and I was high as shit.
Yeah?
Like 1.5 hits. The whole house smelled. I got yelled at. It was like, yo, why does the whole entire house smell like weed? It's
Where
coming
did you
upstairs.
do it at?
In my office at home.
Oh, it was that strong?
It's that loud.
Wow.
I was high as shit off that one hit. It was, the smell was, I thought it smelled beautiful, but my wife did not agree.
No,
She was just like, fam, the whole house smells like weed. I was like, it was one hit. But yeah, that shit is loud. So
why did you just take it by yourself, like,
I don't know.
randomly?
Maybe, one was just timing. I got home and it was just like, oh, I wanted to hit this down. I'm going to try it. Fuck it. And then the other part was just like, all right, I'm in a safe place. I'm at my crib. And if I just feel like I'm too high or it hit me wrong,
Fair.
I just go lay down in my bed. Ain't no thing.
Fair.
So it hit me. It was smooth. It was nice. It got me real high. And then I vegged out watching YouTube videos and TV the rest of the night because I was high as shit.
I did it for the first time in BizCon. MJ BizCon.
Oh, really? Okay, that's dope.
Yeah. And, yep, I was fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, in 2 seconds. Crazy.
What did you smoke it on? Like a rig or?
They had a dab bar, and it was like a whole contraption.
Yeah, you just go.
Yeah, and there's actually like a girl on the other side, and she does it, and then you pull, and yeah, it was actually like a cool experience. But
yeah, that's dope. It's just weird that like first time it's a different kind of high. So
yes,
it's like
totally.
like I've used live rosin cartridges, so I'm familiar with that kind of high. But when you hit it with the dab, it's different. But yeah, it's like it's a weird kind of high. You feel like kind of like you're floating. It's a little bit more psychedelic than just
yes,
being on the move, smoking a blunt or something.
It was crazy because I was like super high and holding like full blown business conversations.
Yeah.
So I felt so fucked up. Honestly, I feel like anybody who had those conversations with me then, I'm sorry.
Yeah, apologies.
I apologize. I probably sounded like an idiot.
And we do a whole podcast giving out game high. See?
But I was so hot. Like it was crazy. 2 seconds. It was like I did it, and I was like in the. I was
like non-functioning.
Yes.
Like why am I so high?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. That's not
fun,
my
though.
favorite kind of. I'm like, so like blunts, but like that. I don't need my high to be like the full weekend at Bernie's high. No. Like I just need to I'm good. I'm vibey. No. Cool. When it's like you just feel dumb.
Yes.
It's like yo, I gotta go to bed.
Yep.
I'm too old to be out here looking stupid. I gotta go lay my dumb ass down.
Too old to be out here dumb. Like stuck. That's why when people be like, oh, people who smoke weed are always slumped. And I'm like, that is not true.
That's not true.
Because when I am the kind of high that I'm slumped, I'm going to fuck the bed.
Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here. Listen, like maybe in my 20s, teens or something, you just like, Nah. You can't be doing that in your 30s, damn near 40s. She's like stuck. Like, what is this dumb motherfucker?
Yep.
What are you doing? Wake up. Go lay down. Fam, go lay down. Go take that nap.
So tell me how you pick them. Because I don't really, yeah.
So a lot of things count as a concentrate. Vape carts are a concentrate that's distillate. Gummies are edible, but it comes from concentrates usually. Right. And then you get into rosin or resin. So rosin being things through pushing hash, which is the cleanest, purest form of a concentrate, because it's just water and pressure and heat. Okay. That's what makes that. That's rosin. But then you get into resin. Now, resin's a whole different game. That's using any kind of hydrocarbon. So propane, butane, pentane, not pentane, to extract resin. They clean it up, or you turn it into sugar, batter, shatter, whether it's live, which means they kill the plant and immediately fresh freeze it, or cured, which means it's full, like, dried and cured flour that they used. And that's a big distinction, live and cured. You're going to get a cleaner product with a live product, and you're going to get a not dirty product with resin or a cured product, but you're getting more plant material.
Well, what constitute as that? Like a dirty product?
A dirty product could be anything. A dirty product could be, you get into people that, and you can't do this stuff in the legal market because of the testing, right? That's the big difference, is having that control, that state testing. Mm-hmm. But you get people that are spraying stuff, like the people do some of these. Oh, this is hemp, but it gets you high. It's like, okay, so it's hemp, but they sprayed something on it. Yep. And you don't know what you smoking and sprayed. Or
when they add the dye to it.
Yeah, trying to affect the color. Yep. You'll see that a little bit in, you can affect color chemically without adding anything to it, and it still be a perfectly fine product. You get like CRC methods on hydrocarbons, distillation methods just to clean up oil. All you're trying to do is clean more and more fats. Hopefully there's no fats in it. Lipids, plant material, right? And water, and you're just trying to get that all out, so you have this pure concentrated oil, right? And I think that's the big thing, is just knowing where your product's from, making sure your product was tested, so that it doesn't have additives in it. That's like when you saw the nicotine vape carts a couple years ago, where people were dying from it. They were like, "Don't smoke a vape. Don't smoke a vape." Yep. That wasn't in a can. People, they tried to make it like it was a cannabis thing.
Yeah, they did try to make it a cannabis thing.
And trust me, I saw mad stuff when it was a cannabis thing. It's, oh, look, careful cannabis. And then they did like spot testing, auditing all over from different stores and different products. Every single one came back a tobacco one. Yep. Not a single cannabis company failed for having an additive in the legal market. And what they're adding was vitamin E, and when burned at that temperature, vaporized, it becomes poisonous, right?
Really?
Well, that's what was killing people, they say.
Wow.
But in cannabis, it's different. You're trying to affect temperature and how things burn, so you don't burn off the terpenes, which is the taste and the smell.
Exactly.
But and it's not so much about all the other nonsense. It's purely like, can they deliver the hit, which legally they have to, but then the terpene profile off of it. That's another big thing in concentrates. The temperature really matters. In the sense of just actually getting a terpene hit from that concentrate, or not. Yeah. Like if you burn it too hot, you're just burning. You're gonna get high, and it is what it is. Right. But when you hit that like right range, which I don't know because I don't do concentrates enough, and you get all that terpene hit plus the actual concentrated THC. Yep. That's where it's at. Yeah. Which is what happened to me, and then I fucked up and like had the whole house smelling. So.
And every terpene has its own boiling point. So if you know what that boiling point is, and you know how hot,
where the peak ones where you're trying to hit to,
exactly. So. Yeah. Is that expensive? I feel like getting something it's basically like a yellowish color by the time you get it in those containers. That's got, and
hopefully.
It's always so tight, and it's always so small. Like it's not a large quantity.
Yeah. So I think part of that is like when you get cured concentrates, which, like I said, are gonna have more plant material in it, or a poorly distilled or a poorly extracted product, is going to be darker. It's going to be closer to a brownish color. Okay. You want it to get down to like honey. Right. Like the color of honey. Yeah. If it gets too light, it's probably cut with something. Okay. So that's the other thing. Like if your vape oil is like pale yellow, it's cut with something.
What would they cut it with? What's a common thing that you think they would cut it with?
I'm saying you could cut it with cheaper weed. I mean, cheaper distillate. You could cut it with terpenes. You know, I don't know. I've never cut it straight distillate. You just got to make better distillate. Use better product, cleaner product already, and then just keep distilling it, whether it's through a short path or a tabletop distillation system, to just keep cleaning it until you get to the right color.
Yeah.
But yeah, trust me, even in the legal cannabis game, you see the spectrum. And that's how you judge it. Go on Reddit, check out somebody's stuff on Reddit. They be blasting people shit on Reddit. They really do.
All right, Corey. Well, I didn't have any other questions, even though Jalen just gave the whole the whole gambit away. Nah, but listen, have a good vacation.
Thank you.
All right. I want to see all the big zaddy hoochie daddy shorts that you about to pull out.
Mad thigh out. Yeah, the whole trip.
It's Corey's 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, we're gonna be celebrating that. That's gonna be dope.
That's incredible, man. Yeah.
Black love.
I'm glad you said it.
I knew you was gonna say it. Yeah.
I was gonna say it. It's so beautiful. So shout out the wife. And listen, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe before Jalen yells at us.
Facts.
And let us know if you like if you like the interview style, or if you like just Corey and I, or if you like when we mix it up.
We be chilling.
Yeah. All right. So till next time, we out.
Peace.